Good evening, and welcome. Tonight's story takes you into the map room of an old university library, late on an evening of soft and steady rain, where broad oak tables stand under a green-shaded lamp. The wide, shallow drawers are full of old maps and charts. The whole room is closed up for the night, and there is nothing to do but sit quietly among the maps and listen to the rain on the tall windows. There is no plot to follow tonight, and nothing to keep track of. The story is only a warm, still room full of old paper and the rain falling outside it. If your thoughts wander away from my voice, let them wander wherever they like. And if you fall asleep before the end, you have done it exactly right. Settle in now. Find the position you sleep best in or near enough to it. Let the bed take all of your weight, every last bit of it. Before the story begins, take a moment to arrive in your body. You are lying down, you are warm enough, nothing more is asked of you tonight. Bring your attention gently to your feet. You do not need to move them, just notice them and let them grow heavy, as if they were filling slowly with warm sand. Let that heaviness rise into your legs. Your calves rest, your knees rest, the long muscles of your thighs let go of their last small holding and sink. Your hands now, let the fingers uncurl on their own. Your arms grow heavy at your sides, heavy and warm, like rope laid down in soft coils, finished with the day's work. Your shoulders drop away from your ears. Down into the bed, your jaw unclenches. The small muscles around your eyes smooth out, the way water smooths when the wind has gone. And your breath moves through all of this heaviness, slow and easy, rocking you very gently the way a boat rocks at its mooring, heavy and warm and held, ready to listen, ready to drift. You are sitting at one of the broad oak tables in the map room of an old university library late in the evening, and the great building has long since gone quiet around you. The doors below are locked, the corridors are dim. Everyone has gone home into the rain, and the room is yours now, for as long as you like, warm and lamplit and hushed, with the rain falling soft and steady on the tall leaded windows and running down the glass in slow, bright threads. It is a long room, high and calm, and it smells of old paper and ink and a faint sweetness of beeswax, the good still smell of a place where things are kept carefully and handled gently and put away with respect. There is one lamp lit, a green-shaded brass lamp at your elbow, and it lays down a warm pool of light on the table and on your resting hands, and gives up kindly somewhere out past the table's edge, so that the far corners of the room stand in a soft brown dusk. The table beneath your hands is old, the oak of it worn smooth and faintly golden, polished by long use and careful waxing until it has the soft sheen of something loved. You can feel the grain of it under your palms, the gentle rise and fall of it, the cool of the wood warming slowly to the warmth of your hands. There are small marks in the surface here and there, the faint ring of a cup set down long ago, the soft dent where a heavy book once rested, the worn place at the table's edge where countless arms have leaned, evening after evening, year upon quiet year. The chair holds you kindly too, its arms worn pale and smooth, its back tilted just so, a chair that has been sat in by patient people for a very long time, and has learned the shape of resting. All around you, low and broad and patient in the half-light, stand the map cabinets. They are great chests of wide, shallow drawers, made of dark oak gone honey-colored at the handles, where 100 years of hands have drawn them open and slid them shut. Each drawer is no deeper than a finger, and each one is full of maps laid flat and quiet, sleeping in the dark the way maps like to sleep, pressed gently under their own soft weight and the weight of all the years. The cabinets stand in long ranks down the length of the room, 10 of them or 12. You do not trouble to count. Each one as tall as your shoulder and crowned with a flat top of polished oak, where here and there an old map lies open to the air, weighted at its corners with small smooth stones kept for the purpose, worn round and pleasant in the hand. The brass pulls run in even rows down the front of every cabinet, drawer over drawer over drawer, and the lamplight finds them softly and lays a small gold gleam on each one, a whole quiet constellation of little gleams going off into the dusk of the room, dimmer and dimmer toward the far wall, until the last of them is only a faint warm hint in the brown dark. There is a deep and easy pleasure in the drawers. You set your hand on a brass pull, cool and smooth, and a little heavy, and draw one open, slow and smooth, and it comes with a soft wooden sigh, a long low whisper of wood sliding over wood, the sound a room makes when it is half asleep and only turning over. And there, laid flat in the lamplight, is a map, an old map of some far coastline, the paper gone the warm brown of weak tea at its edges, soft as cloth from age and careful keeping. Each drawer wears a small card in a brass frame on its front, the name of what sleeps inside written out in a neat old hand, the names of seas and counties and far provinces, the lettering faded soft and gentle. You could read your way slowly along the whole bank of them, drawer by drawer, the way you might read the spines of books in a quiet shop, and never once need to open a single one. It is enough to know they are there, all the far places named and sorted and shut away in their shallow dark, each one resting in its proper place. The cards have been written by many hands across the years. You can tell. Some in a fine slanting copperplate with long elegant tails to the letters. Some in a plainer rounder hand. Some so faded now that the names have softened to the palest brown ghosts of themselves. Half a word, the curl of a capital, a place you cannot quite read and do not need to. The ink has gone the color of strong tea, the color of old honey, the color of dry leaves, and the small brass frames that hold the cards are polished by the brush of passing sleeves to a low, warm shine. Somebody cared for all of this once, and somebody cares for it still, and the room knows it, and rests easy in the knowing. You lean over the open map in the green shaded light and let your eyes wander along the coast. The land is drawn in fine brown ink, every cove and headland traced by a patient hand long ago, the little bays scooped out one by one, the rivers wandering down to the sea in slow blue threads. There are hills shown in tiny rows of soft brown humps, and forests and small clustered trees no bigger than commas, and here and there a town marked with a cluster of little roofs and a steeple, the whole world made small and still and kind, flattened gently onto paper and put to bed. The map maker has colored it all by hand, very long ago, with thin washes of faded color laid on with a soft brush, the sea a pale and watery blue, the lowlands a green gone almost to gray, the higher ground tinted the soft brown of a wren's wing. The colors have sunk into the paper over the years until they are part of it, soft and dim, no edge anywhere, every line and every tint gone gentle with age. You could lay your eye anywhere on the sheet and find some small quiet thing to rest it on, a tiny bridge over a thread of river, a single tree standing in a field, the dotted line of an old road wandering off between the hills to a town with a name you have never heard and will never need to remember. And out across the empty sea, where the land runs out, The old mapmaker filled the blue with the things that fill a quiet mind. A great compass rose, its points spread like a flower, gold and faded red. A sailing ship no longer than your thumb, leaning into a painted wind, and there, in the wide blank water, a sea monster, drawn long ago by someone who never saw one, a friendly curling creature with a spout and a scaled back, and a mild surprised eye, more like a sleeping cat than anything fearsome, set there only to keep the empty sea from looking too empty. Down at the bottom of the sheet, in a neat box ruled off from the sea, the old mapmaker has written his name and his city, and the year, in a fine, slanting hand, and under it a little scale of miles, a row of small, even marks for measuring out distances no one will ever walk again. The ink has faded to the soft brown of dry leaves, and the loops of the letters are careful and slow, drawn by someone who had all evening to draw them. The way you have all evening now, with the rain on the windows and nowhere at all to be. Beside the lamp on the table there is a small reading glass and a worn brass rim, left there by some patient reader long before you, and you take it up, idle and unhurried, and hold it over the little scale of miles, and the marks swim up large and soft under the glass, the brown ink furred and gentle at its edges, every tiny careful stroke of the old pen made plain. You move the glass slowly across the corner of the map, over the looping letters of the maker's name, over the year that is so far behind us now, over the small flourish he drew beneath it for the simple pleasure of drawing it. And it is a mild and easy thing to do, to look closely at something that asks nothing of you, only to look, and then to set the glass down again. You touch the old paper with one fingertip, very gently, the way you touch something that has outlived everyone who ever made it, and it is soft and cool and faintly furred with age. This map is older than anyone living. It has lain flat in this dark drawer for longer than you have been alive, keeping its still brown coastlines through every kind of weather, through all the quiet years, and it will lie here long after this evening is folded away and forgotten. There is a great comfort in that, in being among things so much older and so much calmer than the day you have just set down, things that have never once been in any haste, and never once will be. The whole far world is here, you think. Tucked away in these shallow drawers, the whole round earth taken to pieces and laid flat and put neatly to bed. The mountains are here, folded into paper, sleeping. The oceans are here, painted blue and still, every wave smoothed away. The deserts and the ice and the great dark forests, all of them drawn small and quiet and kind, all of them safe in the dark drawers, asking nothing of you, going nowhere at all. There is no journey to take tonight. The maps are only for looking at, the way you look at a fire, the way you look at the rain. You slide the drawer shut again, slow and easy, and it closes with the same soft wooden sigh, and the coastline goes back into its dark to sleep. And you draw open another, lower down, and find a chart of the open sea, all soundings and compass lines, the deep places marked with small faded numbers, the safe passages drawn in fine spidery ink. The whole sheet is webbed with thin straight lines spreading out from the compass roses like the threads of a still pond, crossing and recrossing, the old sailor's web laid gently over the water. Here and there along the coast, the chart names a safe harbor, a place to lie at anchor out of the weather, and the little names sit close against the land in their faded ink, snug and quiet, each one a place where tired ships once came in out of the dark and the cold and were held safe till morning. You let your eye rest on them, one by one, the small kind harbors, and it is a comfortable thing to think of, all those sheltered waters drawn so carefully, all those quiet places to come into. Along the edges of the chart, the maker has drawn small pictures of the coast as it would look from the sea, low brown sketches of headlands and church towers, a hill with a notch in it, a clump of trees on a point, so that a sailor coming in from the gray water in the early light might know one quiet shore from another and steer in safe. They are kindly little drawings, careful and plain, and you can feel the care in them across all the years, one patient hand drawing the shape of a far hill so that some other soul long after might come home out of the weather, the hard salt cold of all that is long gone now. Only the kindness of it stays here in the warm dry room. You cannot read it, not truly, and you do not try. You only let your eyes drift along the thin lines and the soft numbers, the way you might follow the grain in a piece of wood or the cracks in an old ceiling with no thought of where they go. The chart was made for crossing wide cold seas in small wooden ships long ago, but all that hard salt weather is gone out of it now. It is only a quiet sheet of paper in a warm, dry room, with the rain falling soft on the windows and the lamp glowing green and gold beside it. You shut that drawer too, and open another, and another, in no particular order, just as the hand falls, and each one gives up its quiet sheet to the lamplight and takes it back again into the dark. There is a map of a great city, all its streets drawn fine as the veins in a leaf, its gardens tinted the faintest green, its river bending through the middle of it in a wide pale ribbon, and you let your eye follow the river through the city and out the other side and away into the soft brown country, and never wonder for a moment what the city is called. There is a map of high mountains, the peaks drawn in row upon row of little shaded humps, the passes between them marked with the thinnest dotted lines, the whole cold range made warm and small and still under your hand. There is an old county map, the fields and hedges and lanes all drawn in, the manor houses marked with tiny gates, the windmills with their little sails, a whole soft green countryside put gently to sleep on a single sheet. You take your time with each one. There is no end to the drawers, or near enough to none, and the evening is long, and the rain is steady, and there is a slow, simple pleasure in the drawing open and the sliding shut, the brass cool under your hand, the soft wooden sigh, the warm sheet rising into the light and sinking back into the dark. You are not looking for anything. You will not remember any of it in the morning, and you do not need to. It is enough to draw the drawer, and look, and let it go. One drawer and then another, slow and easy in the lamplight, the brass cool, the wood sighing soft, the warm sheets rising and sinking, and the whole long evening laid out before you with nowhere in it you need to be. Against the wall near the end of the long table stands the index, a tall, narrow cabinet of its own, all of small square drawers no bigger than a hand, hundreds of them, each with a tiny brass frame and a tinier card, and inside each one a neat stack of paper slips written out long ago in a fine close hand, one slip for every map in the room, telling in faded ink which drawer it sleeps in and what far place it shows. It is the room thinking quietly to itself, the whole still mind of the place laid out in little stacked slips, every map known and named and accounted for, so that nothing here is ever truly lost, only resting, only waiting in its proper drawer to be found again whenever it is wanted. You draw open one of the little square drawers and find the cool soft edge of the paper slips under your fingertip, and you do not read them. You only feel them stacked there, close and snug and in order, and slide the little drawer shut again, and the room keeps on holding everything it holds, gently, without effort, the way it always has. On the table itself, pushed back behind the lamp, there is an old inkstand of dark wood and tarnished brass, with two small wells gone dry years ago, and a worn place beside it where the pens were laid, and a little dish of fine sand once used to dry the wet ink, the sand long since gone, the dish only a smooth brass hollow now, warm to the touch. These were the tools of the patient hands that kept the room, the slow, careful hands that wrote the cards and mended the torn corners and laid the soft tissue between the oldest sheets. And they are at rest now, too, the inkstand and the dish and the worn place for the pens, their long work done, only sitting in the lamplight keeping the table company through the quiet evening, the way you keep it company, asking nothing, doing nothing, only being warm and still in the low gold light. There is one map you come back to, a great old folded sheet laid out flat on the far table to rest, so large it has been backed long ago with fine linen, so that where the paper has cracked along its old fold lines, the linen holds it gently together, soft and supple as cloth, the whole vast map bending and breathing a little when you lay your hand on it, warm and pliant under your palm. It shows a whole kingdom, coast to coast, every river and road and range of hills, more country than one pair of eyes could ever truly cross, and yet it lies there light as a blanket, folding where it likes, soft at every seam, the hard old paper made kind and yielding by the patient linen behind it, and you smooth your hand across it slowly, from the mountains in the corner down to the sea, and it gives under your touch with the faintest sigh, and lies still again. In the two far corners of the room stand the globes, great and round and patient on their wooden cradles, one for the earth and one for the heavens, each as tall as a child. You rise, unhurried, and cross the dim room to the nearer one, your footsteps soft on the old floorboards, and you set your hand flat against the cool curve of it and give it the gentlest push, and it turns. It turns slowly under your fingers, slow and smooth and heavy, the way a great thing turns, and the whole painted world goes drifting by beneath your palm, the brown lands and the blue seas and the soft gold lettering of the old place names winding past, slower and slower, until it sighs to a stop on some far ocean and stands still. There is a deep, mild pleasure in it, in the weight of the globe and the slow turn of it, the whole world set gently spinning by one finger and let come to rest again, quiet under your hand. You stand a moment with your hand resting on the still globe, feeling the cool, smooth varnish of it under your palm, the faint ridges where the painted seams of the old paper meet. Whole countries pass under your fingers without your meaning it, islands no bigger than a freckle, mountain ranges drawn in soft brown shading, the long curve of a coast you will never see, and all of it so small and so still and so kind, the whole earth held quiet in the curve of your hand, turning when you wish it and resting when you wish it, asking nothing. The globe stands in its wooden cradle on three turned legs, dark and old and gleaming faintly, and around its middle runs a brass ring, marked off in fine even lines worn soft with handling, and the whole thing is the work of patient hands, glued and pasted and varnished sheet by careful sheet, long ago, by someone who never saw the half of what they drew, and trusted in it all the same. There is a faint sweet smell of old varnish and old paper close to it, and the cool of the round surface comes up gently to meet your hand, and when you give it one more soft turn the seas and the lands go drifting by again, the gold names winding past too slow to read, and you let it slow and stop, the whole world come to rest under one resting hand. The other globe is the sky, the night sky drawn in deep blue with the old constellations laid over it in fine gold lines, the hunter and the bear and the swan, the figures the watchers of the world dreamed up long ago to keep the dark from looking too empty, the same kind work as the sea monster in the wide blank water. You turn it too, slow and easy, and the painted stars go drifting past, and the gold figures wheel gently round the way the real stars are wheeling now, far above the rain, far above the roof, slow and sure, and in no haste at all. You rest your hand on the cool of it, on the deep painted blue, and the little gold stars stand fixed in their places, each one set down just so by some patient hand, each constellation drawn out in its faint linking lines and named in its small gold letters, the whole quiet company of the heavens laid out smooth and round and still under your palm. Out beyond the high roof, the true stars are hidden tonight behind the soft gray rain, but here they are, all of them gathered in out of the weather, painted and varnished and kept safe in the warm brown corner of the room, turning slow when you wish them to and resting still when you let them. the whole night sky held quiet in the curve of your hand? You come back to your chair in the warm pool of light and sit, and let the room be still around you. Along one wall, in their tall pigeonholes, the rolled charts stand in their hundreds, each one wound snug around its wooden rod and slid away into its own small square of shadow, like bottles in a rack, like loaves on a shelf, each in its place, each at rest. They have all been put away for the night, every one of them, and there is a quiet pleasure in the sight of them, the whole far world rolled up and shelved and tidy, tomorrow already taken care of. The pigeonholes climb the wall in their neat dark grid, row upon row up into the soft brown dusk near the ceiling, and a tall library ladder leans against them on its brass rail, dark wood worn pale at the rungs, ready and patient and going nowhere, the kind of ladder that has stood just there for longer than anyone now living can say. You do not climb it. There is no need. The high-rolled charts can keep their high small shadows all the long night, and the low ones theirs, and you can sit in the warm and look up along the quiet rows of them and feel only the deep ease of so many things put away, so many things at rest, so much of the world rolled up and shelved, and asked nothing of until morning, and morning so far off and not your concern at all. The lamplight is the color of honey, and it lies warm on everything it touches. It gleams along the brass pulls of the map cabinets and sinks into the dark oak of the long tables, and it picks out, here and there, the soft gold edge of a globe, the worn brass of the lamp's own stem, the pale fan of an old map left flat on the far table to rest. The room is old and lovingly kept, its tables waxed and gleaming, its floors swept, its maps tended by careful hands, and the smell of the beeswax mingles with the old paper and the rain until the whole room smells of warmth and care and quiet keeping. High over your head, the ceiling goes up into a soft brown dimness, the old plaster faintly cracked in long, slow lines, a great dark beam crossing it from wall to wall, and the lamplight does not climb so far, so that the top of the room is a warm shadow you need never look into, a high, quiet dark that keeps the room close and sheltered like the inside of a held hand. The tall windows go up nearly to it, ranked down the long wall, their small leaded panes silvered with the rain, and between them the dark wood paneling glows low and deep where the light touches it, and stands in soft shadow where it does not. You sit a while and watch the rain run down the tall windows, and listen to it, and let the day settle behind you. The lamp hums softly beside you, the smallest sound. The rain murmurs on the lidded glass and on the high roof above, soft and steady, patient as the maps, and the two quiet things, the rain and the lamplight, fold together until the whole room is one warm, sheltered hush, with all the wide, wet night held off beyond the glass. Somewhere far off in the sleeping building, a clock tells the hour, slow and soft and muffled by all the dim corridors between, a few low notes that reach you faint and gentle and mean nothing you need to mind, only that the night is going by as it should in its own good time, with no call on you at all. The notes fade and the rain takes the room back soft and even, and you let the hour go by unremembered, the way you let the maps go by, the way you let your own slow thoughts go drifting past, one after another, none of them needing to be kept. Beneath the nearest of the tall windows there is a low window seat, cushioned in old worn velvet, gone soft and shapeless with years, and the rain runs down the dark glass above it in slow, bright threads, and the cold of the wet night stands just on the far side of the leaded panes and cannot reach in. You could sit there if you liked, with the glass cool a hand's breadth from your cheek and the warm room at your back, and watch the rain gather and run, the little beads of it sliding down to meet and join and slide down further, the courtyard wavering and softening beyond, the whole wet world held off behind a thin skin of old glass. But it is warmer by the lamp, and the chair is kind, and the window keeps its rain and its cold and its dark all to itself, asking nothing of you, only standing there being the edge of the shelter, the soft line between the warm and the wet, the near and the far. The room gathers all its small warm things close around the lamp, and keeps the great dark wet night out beyond the glass, and holds you in the middle of it, easy and unminded, with the maps sleeping on every side. The brass gleams low and gold, the oak glows warm and deep, the paper sleeps soft in the shallow drawers, and the globes stand still in their corners, and the rolled charts wait in their rows, and the rain comes down, and there is nothing in all of it that wants anything of you at all. The far places are all so calm tonight. That is the great quiet gift of a map room. Out in the true world, the seas are cold, and the mountains are high, and the deserts go on forever. But here, in the shallow drawers, they are only soft brown paper, smooth and flat and still, and you can hold a whole ocean down with one finger. Every storm that ever crossed those painted seas blew itself out long ago. Every mountain on every map has stood unmoving for 100 years. Nothing on any of these sheets will stir tonight or tomorrow or ever. They are done with their weather. They are only resting now flat in the dark, the way you are resting in the lamplight. And the maps are in no disagreement with one another. Not really, though no two quite match. One draws a coast a little this way, and one a little that, and the old place names change from sheet to sheet, and it does not matter in the least. There is no true map here, no one right shape of the world to be kept, only 100 soft brown guesses at it, laid flat in their drawers side by side, agreeing about everything that matters and nothing that does not. It is a kind and easy company. The old maps, each one minding its own small piece of the world, none of them in any haste to be proved right, and you sit among them as among old friends who have long since said all there is to say. The rain keeps on at the windows, soft and steady, threading down the dark glass in bright, slow lines, gathering and running and gathering again. Beyond the glass, the courtyard lies empty and shining, the lamplight from the room laid out across the wet stones below in a long, warm stripe, and now and then a far light wavers in a puddle, and the rain stitches it gently away. No one is out. No one is coming. The room holds its warmth and its light and its 100 sleeping maps, and the rain falls all around it, and the night is wide and mild and means you no trouble at all. The rain has 100 soft voices, and they are all the same voice. There is the murmur of it on the leaded panes close beside you, and the wider hush of it on the high roof overhead, and the small patient trickle of it somewhere out in the dark courtyard, water finding its slow way along an old stone channel to the drain, the way it has gone for 100 years and will go for 100 more. None of these sounds asks anything of you. They only go on soft and even, weaving in and out of one another, the long quiet music of a rainy night, and you let it fill the room and fill your ears and carry your slow thoughts gently away on it, one by one out into the wet dark gone. You lower the lamp a little, and the shadows deepen kindly in the corners, and the brass of the cabinets glows soft and gold in the dimmer light. You fold your hands on the warm, worn oak of the table and let your eyes rest on the one map still open before you, the coastline and its compass rose and its mild sleeping sea monster, all of it going dim and gold and easy in the lowered light. The far coast lies flat and still on the paper. The little hills are folded into their soft brown rows asleep. The painted sea is smooth, every wave smoothed away, and the small ship leans on its painted wind and never moves, and the sea monster sleeps in the wide blue water with its mild surprised eye half closed. Everything on the map is quiet. Everything in the room is quiet. The rain falls on the windows, and the lamp glows low, and the whole far world lies safely flattened onto paper and put gently to bed. The drawers are all shut now. The brass pulls gleam faintly in their even rows, drawer over drawer, each one full of its sleeping maps, each one warm and dark inside, and there is nothing left to draw open, and nothing left to look at, and nothing at all to do. The globes stand still in their corners, the earth and the sky both come to rest. The charts are rolled and shelved in their hundreds along the wall. The one map before you lies open and dim and quiet, and you let your eyes rest on it, softer and softer, and you let them close and open and close. Your thoughts begin to slow to the rhythm of the rain, to the soft even fall of it on the high windows, and the lamp glows low and green and gold, and your eyes grow heavy in the warm pool of light. There is nothing to do. The drawers are shut. The globes are still. The charts are rolled and shelved. The maps are flat and sleeping, and the rain will fall all night, soft and steady and kind, on the tall, dark windows while you rest among the quiet maps. The maps sleep in their drawers. The rain runs down the glass. The globes stand still in the corners. The earth and the sky both come to rest, and the lamp glows low and warm, and you need do nothing at all but sit among the maps and let the soft rain carry you down into sleep. The far coast is asleep on its paper. The little hills are asleep in their soft brown rose. The painted sea is smooth and still. The small ship leans on its painted wind and does not move, and the gentle sea monster sleeps with its mild eye half closed, and the compass rose points softly off toward nowhere you need go. All of it quiet. All of it safe. All of it put gently to bed, the way you are put gently to bed now, in the warm and the low light, with the rain coming down. The maps lie flat and still. The rain falls on the windows. The far places rest in the dark drawers. The seas and the mountains, and the soft brown coasts, all of them safe, all of them sleeping, going nowhere, in no haste, with all the night to cross. The maps sleep. The rain falls. The globes are still. The lamp glows low, and the room is warm, and the night is wide and kind beyond the glass. The maps sleep. The rain falls. The room keeps you soft and slow and warm and slow. The rain falls, and the lamp glows low, and the old maps sleep, and the room keeps you soft and slow and warm and slow.